Huh, fancy playing some basketball, huh? Or in this case, the actual, puck darts that you're able to fiddle around with, Pac-Man. Just saying. Hey, what's up, ladies and gentlemen? It is I am the one and only Maxi here, and I am from the likes of the Maxi Toys videos, as always. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back for some more of Let's Play of Pac-Man World 3 for the Nintendo GameCube, PlayStation 2, Xbox, PC, PSP, and the worst version of the game, the DS version. So, yeah, last time we basically just managed to accomplish the 8th world in the game, and that's actually not too bad, despite my jump does have some bit of problems. But aside from all that stuff though, that's as far as I can usually just try to able to, you know, just trying to point it out for the sake of that previous world we went in, so, excuse me. And yeah, today for this episode is the fact that not only do we might able to actually possibly, that if you couldn't tell from the actual time of the length of this video, this meaning about the fact that we could potentially try to able to tackle through 2 levels in this one particular part of a playthrough. Which, the reason being, is that, well, we'll get to more details about this whenever we're able to actually explore around onto this 9th world in the game, which appears to be, I think we're going back on to Banni, Banni World environment, except now it just calls it Banni Canyon, as opposed to in the second world calls it Banni Wastelands. So, yeah, that's something worth noting for, especially noticeable that we might be familiar with this environment for this, instance like this. So, yeah, you probably get the gist of it. So, anyway, so let's go ahead and, actually, is there anything else from up there? Or is it just... What the fudge? Okay. So it looks like that, Pac-Man has just managed to able to go out of bounds, well, out of the boundaries for a moment there. But anyway, we'll, continue on. I have no idea, it's so awkward, because I was like, I somehow cleared for the floor again. And as a result, that I was like, okay, this is definitely more of a prequel to Sonic Boom. Nice when you're going through, clip for the floor for no reason at all, despite the fact I checked in there, rev-roll it, and I somehow managed to clip through. So, yeah, it's best to not recommend doing that, because otherwise, you won't able to actually, well, of course, surprised, I don't think I actually lose a bit of health when I fell off to the actual pit or something, even though it has been about, since a couple of hours ago, since I actually did manage to last touch this game, because, as I said before, ever since in yesterday's video, that's somehow our uploading schedules for Pac-Man World 3 gets a bit slightly slower due to the forms of the heat wave that we've been having. But regardless of everything else though, I think we should be alright as it goes by. Especially noticeable that I've still managed to play through The Legend of Zelda Skyward Sword HD recently. So, and it feels like I've almost done with the game before I move on to the next Zelda game, which, God knows when though. Especially noticeable that I know you guys are probably going to say Breath of the Wild, but turns out I'm not exactly ready for that, just because I'm usually going to be focusing on other Zelda things from now on, like, you know, Majora's Mask for the N64, no, not that. The Wind Waker, both the GameCube and the Wii U version. Actually, gonna think about it, I think I might as well tackle for the Wii U version first, and then the GameCube version when it gets, like, cool weather cooldowns, so... And same applies to the forms of Twilight Princess as well, which I also need to get around into that as well. And possibly, potentially, Zelda 2 The Adventure of Link, the hardest games in the entire franchise. So, yeah, that must have been expected. So, anyway, remember what I said before, ever since in yesterday, that, potentially speaking, that I was originally trying to able to have, no longer have myself Rayman Revolution, but it turns out I might as well able to keep it forever now, just because of the forms of how Rayman 2 is easily the best Rayman game ever, which is pretty true for some circumstances though, even though, mind you, the worst version of the game is the DS version, just because of the actual, like, you know, touchscreen controls and all that stuff, but it knows where it stands. So, and, also, that as you guys should know, I sadly no longer have the SpongeBob SquarePants movie game on the PlayStation 2. The only reason being is the fact that, well, It kind of sucks that you can't play as Sandy Cheeks in that game, unlike Battle for Bikini Bottom. Which I will say though is the fact that I'm actually going to be able to stuck with just only one game from now on for the SpongeBob universe. That's what appears to be the good one, in this case the best one out of them all, which is of course Battle for Bikini Bottom. On the PlayStation 2 that is, and I still got the PS4 version of the rehydrated version, so I can at least expect to be able to enjoy the game for quite a few portions worth noting for. In fact, I don't know if we might able to do a let's play of the forms of Battle for Bikini Bottom rehydrated, so I'll let you guys know about that at some point in the future, but not now though, just because we're actually going to be focusing on, you know, other sorts of Let's Plays in the future once we finish up with Pac-Man World 3. Although aside from the fact that Mighty will still able to go back onto Mario Party 5. So, yeah, you probably get the idea about that specific topic worth noting for, so. And also that today's day is of course the 22nd of July today, in this case in 2021. And it looks like that tomorrow, after this video has been released, that the Tokyo 2020 Olympics, or in this case Tokyo 2021, is about to start for the actual Olympics and stuff like that. So, still hyped about this, and especially noticeable that if once we're able to continue playing through this, along with the forms of other Let's Plays in the future, then we'll definitely get ourselves some brief mentioning about the forms of some specific topics worth noting for. So because of that, yeah, I'm still pretty excited, and especially noticeable about the fact that once the, you know, the Olympics is about to start, then, well, we might as well be hyped for that. So, anyway, so let's go ahead and grab the 25th anniversary statue. So, either way though, and also we still need to beat more enemies as to be expected, so I guess that sort of feels like standard stuff for the most part for, you know what I mean, just trying to able to cope with the forms of some progressioning sake. Although, mind you, is the fact that the weather itself might be still a bit hot in my area, so I can at least try to able to cope with it. But at the same time though, it might take some time to get used to, especially how I pretty much get able to, you know, try to have to wait until likely for the next few, well, it's kind of hard to say at the moment, just because, well, then again, it has been about a couple of hours since I actually last touched this game, just because, well, I'm just waiting until the actual weather itself gets a bit cooled down every now and then, but it knows where it stands, so. Anyway, so let's go ahead and grab some more health riches, so just in case we can able to still survive for several battle occasions, so. Yeah, anyway, and yeah, I'm afraid that the, in addition to able to actually no longer have myself, SpongeBob SquarePants, the SpongeBob SquarePants movie game on the PlayStation 2, this also means is that that particular playthrough is cancelled due to the forms of how the fact that, well, I must be honest here, I never know about the forms of the console version of the game, but for what I know is the fact that it plays very similar to Battle for Bikini Bottom, except the fact that, well, the mission structure is actually slightly different than the forms of how it does it on the, well, the Battle for Bikini Bottom game. Whilst I'll give the Battle for Bikini Bottom game some credit for is the fact that that game is actually a bit longer, like 6 hours longer, and then as far as the movie game, as far as I'm concerned, it usually took about 4 hours to complete, which is 2 hours lesser than the, Battle for Bikini Bottom was. And also, not to mention, there was actually the third Heavy Iron Studios game from the SpongeBob SquarePants games, which is Truthful Square, on the Wii, Xbox 360, and I suppose that's pretty much about it. Although, aside from the portable versions on the PSP or the DS versions, but they're more likely different developers. And unfortunately though, the Truthful Square game is actually 2 hours short. So, yeah, that's why I'm gonna skip that. So, because of that, definitely one of the weaker of the forms of the SpongeBob's, you know, the last hurrah to the forms of the Heavy Iron Studios type of games. That's as far as I'm concerned. So, either way though, it knows what it used to be, so. And once again, that's very similar to the previous level that we've done, that we are obviously going to be taking control of Blinky again. Or technically Clyde in this game, aside from the fact that, well, name confusion, but that's as far as I can usually trying to mention about certain things. In fact, that's not to say the only time they actually got that name wrong. That's what appears to be, well, the first time actually, potentially speaking. That will have to be by the forms of the animated cartoon, where technically it does that first. We're able to actually make some of the characters' names wrong. Like, for instance, they've managed to accidentally call one of those ghosts in a wrong colored name. So, because I've recognized the arcade game, of course, and, yeah, you probably get the idea about that particular, the topic worth noting for the sake of time. So anyways, let's go ahead and just beat up some more enemies, as always, to take down these red laser gate. So hopefully we could able to get some progressions there. By all means, it's the fact that we can able to reroll from here and try to avoid those flamethrowers, if I could potentially try and able to dodge them well enough, like I just did right there. And of course, then we do need to able to get a specific key to progress, but of course we do need able to oh great, some more enemies. Of course there's always has to be more enemies involved. But anyways, thankfully we got ourselves the electric power-up, so that way we can able to take those guys down. So at least, and also same applies to those particular robots when it has like shields on them, so I guess that's okay, I suppose. So now let's go ahead and take control of Blinky here, so that way we would be able to actually kind of think about it. I don't think that's actually like, well, I don't know what you're able to do it, but anyway, we'll go for that anyway. And of course, since we're going to still need to avoid those flamethrowers, because if you somehow get involved getting hit by those flamethrowers, yeah, as you saw, that somehow I did not even go near to it, but apparently there has to be like a big hitbox or something, so yeah, that seems kind of off-putting. Actually, kind of thinking about it, I think we do need to able to use one of those minecarts until we're able to actually switch places around between another minecart, because I don't think there's anything else we can do in here, so, well, for Blinky anyway, or Clyde for that matter. So anyways, let's rev-roll here, and then try to avoid those flamethrowers if we try to dodge them as much as we can. And then exponentially, if, well, I can definitely tell that minecart is already managed to able to move, so at least that's pure and simple. And I somehow got hurt right there. But whatever, at least we can able to deal with the amount of hits we could have to put up with. So anyway, let's just rev-roll here. And take control of Blinky from that segment there, and try to take down all sorts of like metal scorpions and stuff like that. So now, as far as I'm guessing correctly, it's the fact that this world might be a bit short. Well, mind you, that there might be some other collectibles needs to be collected around here, but I'm sure enough that we'll able to actually get this world finished until that time comes. Especially noticeable if you couldn't tell from the forms of the time length. It might be the second shortest episode in this video, or this playthrough so far, but we'll see what happens and during that some form or another. But anyway, let's just go ahead and take down even more of those scorpion robots, and or in this case metal scorpions, as far as I'm trying to concern what the actual things itself is all about. But thankfully we did manage to take down pretty easily for those guys, even though they were able to actually respawn, so we're gonna have to figure our way to able to actually just to, well, deal with them normally. So anyways, let's do a supersonic screeching scream ability, and of course we can't able to obtain strawberries with Blinky here, because only Pac-Man is the only one who can able to obtain them. So yeah, it makes sense, I suppose. So because obviously with those ghosts, they obviously bypass any like objects or somewhat. So oh, I see. So basically, in order to progress, I think we do need to destroy those particular containers that it does manage to able to protect or activate the red laser gates. So once we're done with those, I'm pretty certain that we can able to actually progress. So yeah, that's what I was thinking of anyway. So problem solved. So not too shabby either. So now we just need to able to like, well, obviously we can't do anything to that switch for Blinky, but apart from the fact that we can able to take down those little metal boxes and such, so that way we can able to get rid of them until we able to actually see, well, as far as what I saw so far is nothing. Well, apart from the fact that, well, if we leave, take control of Blinky and take control of Pac-Man again, we do realize is the fact that these collectibles will show up now. So stuff like, for instance, there's actually the 20th anniversary card, so we're able to obtain that. And of course, some more stuff, and yeah, I suppose that's pretty much as far as I can say, all things considered. So we'll obtain a card, and also, over there, not only do we get ourselves an extra life, but also another 25th anniversary statue. So yeah, it's pretty simple for the most part, even though that, again, it has been quite a few hours since I actually did done some commentary on this game, just because, again, I must admit though, it's just the fact that the actual heat wave might actually slow me down for a bit for uploading schedules like this. But hopefully though, when it gets a bit cooler and stuff like that, then hopefully I should be able to actually make things a bit faster for, you know, several uploading schedules in particular. So anyways, let's climb on here and obviously go for platform to platform if we can. Well, despite not do that, because otherwise that'll be a bad idea, although it did somehow push me back. But at the very least I can able to re-grab that extra life, so at least that's something. Oh yeah, I suppose I should probably mention about this too, is the fact that thankfully, if you keep on dying on that particular moment, where basically that your checkpoint activates on certain sections of the world, and then basically that these health wedges, including the actual like extra lives, thankfully they do respawn after death, so at least that's a good thing. Whilst unlike in Pac-Man World 1, that if you somehow obtain the extra life, and then if you somehow die, and if you think you're about to try to get that one up again, well, it turns out those will never respawn. So because of that, although it kind of does the well, it might be hard to say, just because I know it has been a while since I actually did manage to did done, you know, some more commentary and stuff like that, but still, I can't deny about that. So anyways, let's save our game here, so just in case we don't, you know, lose some progression in here. So, but at least we are getting there, folks. Especially noticeable that we've pretty much almost done with this. So anyways, let's insert the key in, and we can able to continue here. So, of course, some more health wedges to able to keep ourselves alive. And, yeah, for the most part, there's not much else I can talk about, apart from the fact that, well, usually, potentially speaking, there's not much else I can talk about. So, although, exponentially speaking, when it comes to everything else I would like to discuss, apparently though, according to Equestria Daily, the actual famous website for My Little Pony Friendship is Magic series or something like that, they mention about the fact that something it's more accurately when My Little Pony Friendship is Magic ends, with a video game nonetheless, and somehow they managed able to did the vote of which specific genre they want it to be. Like, at the moment they've got, well, they put in a lot of categories on there. But I'll get to more of the majority votes by the end of that topic. They mentioned like Battle Royale, Shooter, Puzzle. Well, technically we've already had a puzzle game, but unfortunately it's been shut down for unknown reasons. And rhythm game, survival game, or roguelike, or other, or fighting, or strategy, text graphic adventure, or dating sim, meaning dating simulator, or simulation, or even a platformer, or even action slash adventure, or RPG, role-playing game. So the majority vote is RPG, meaning role-playing game. So I'm kind of curious to see how that's going to turn out, even though it might, I don't know about you, but if that will happen, if it's on the Nintendo Switch or something, like a Switch exclusive game or something, I will be really hyped about it. Especially noticeable about the fact that, wow, since I'm still a brony after all, so because of that though, if that will come true, then I will be really, really hyped about it. Especially noticeable, I can play on the go if that was on the Switch, but if not, then I'm also able to go onto PC only, which I don't know about you, but we'll see what happens in the future. But it's all about, like, I don't know, speculating or some rumors or anything else like that, or it's just a made up, but I have no words to say, just because, well, again, it's just the fact that the heat wave might actually just manage to make me go like, oh jeez, it's so sweaty today. But hopefully by that time until next week, or specifically until this Friday, which is tomorrow anyway, hopefully the weather itself might be a bit cooler, because, I don't know, I'm just still not a big fan of heat waves, just because it might be felt a bit kind of slow for my taste. But on the upside is, though, is the fact that, well, pretty much guaranteed about the fact that I can able to still play my Nintendo Switch any day, likely trying to able to still finishing up with Skyward Sword HD on my own time, and also just trying to able to work on this next new Let's Play. Even though, generally speaking, when it comes to other Let's Plays for that matter, well, I'm not gonna spoil things majorly though, just because, well, we'll see what happens until then. So, anyway, yeah, let's just go ahead and take down this big buffy looking enemy right there by just keep on, you know, butt bouncing on him, and, yeah, that's how it usually goes from here. And we'll grab an orange, and somehow we got all the oranges, so awesome and top notch. So anyway, before we continue, there's another 25th anniversary statue, so we know what we're doing. And we grabbed all of the apples, and including the forms of all the health witches too, so pretty cool. So anyways, let's just go ahead and go from here to obtain some more pack dots and get our health witches, so just in case for, you know, increasing more health and all that stuff. And of course, an extra life in case if we're about to grab some more, so that should be okay all in all. Which is great, because otherwise that if we somehow manage to do this with lesser amount of extra lives, then I will get wrecked really, really damn hard. So anyway, of course more enemies to come, such as of course metal scorpions, just like always, so hopefully we're able to take these guys down for, you know, just using the electricity ability. So oh, and also another thing too is the fact that I recently managed to able to still continue watching Monsters at Work at the moment. So at least I was expecting about the fact that I was pretty damn hyped to able to actually see what's all these upcoming you know, episodes usually has to come. So but either way though, I was expecting to able to see something new or something, I don't know. Because again, it has been, you know, a couple of days. So anyway, so let's just go and beat the likes out of him, and hopefully we would be able to obtain this little spinny wheel thing to, well, insert it onto certain spots for the majority of the ending portion of the level. So hopefully we're able to get that done. So there's this riverroll there, and oh, spectral ghosts, an ambush. And I somehow just managed to able to get hit right there, but that's okay. Because otherwise we're able to take those guys down like no sweat whatsoever. So now I've already pointed things out right away, is the fact that obviously that I'm going to be doing 2 worlds in this particular video. Mainly because, well, until the next level, in this case the next world in this game, this is going to be one of the shortest worlds in the game. And by all means by that, well, we'll point it out whenever we're able to finish this world up first. Oh, don't you ever dare. Okay, thank you. Whew, that was quite a close one, because otherwise, if I somehow managed to able to get screwed over by, you know, accidentally touch the forms of those particular vortex or something like that, but you know what I'm saying. So anyway, let's save my game here, just in case if I don't waste my life from able to actually just get hit by a random enemy encounter or anything else like that. But hopefully we're able to. Okay, there we go. So we'll insert this, and Pac-Man, what are you doing? He just keeps on like infinite walking onto that specific hose pipe or something. Well, I don't know about you, but anyway. So of course this this does remind me of level 2, or world 2 even, that basically we have to hop onto there, and then, well, if we go all the way down there, then potentially speaking that I think this might actually be the end of the level. So yeah, basically after when we get off there, then we stumble across some sort of like an abandoned village of any sort, and then try to river straight forward, and whenever we keep on moving forward, well, the end of the level is just right there. So out of nowhere, no context or anything else like that. So there we go, that was it for level 9. Not too shabby for the most part, even though that despite the despicable, clipping for the floor death thing in the beginning of the level, mainly it's because, again, it's my first time experiencing this level, so anyways, that's it for that, and as I said, we'll pretty much gonna have to do one more level for this video, and that's what appears to be by far the shortest level in the game. And I'm sure you guys should know what I'm gonna say, so either way though, but first of all, let's watch the actual cutscene.
Quit your daydreaming, Munchie. Come on, Orson needs you pronto-like.
Whoa! You're just in time, my pastel friends. There's no time to lose.
You better be right about him being our only hope for survival, because dragging him all the way in here was a real hassle, chump.
What can I do for you? We're in one tight spot, Pac-Man. Irwin's evil army has almost reached this very outpost, and if it goes, the entire planet will soon follow.
Yeah, so get in this thingamabob.
Thingamabob? Clyde, Toc-Man is a Model 420 tri-cylinder micro-tolerance combat mechanoid. And if it didn't need a pilot to be functional, I'd adopt it as my very own son this second.
In you go, and don't mess this up. Shotgun! Never thought you and me'd both be on the same side of a power pellet, Munchie. Guess this is pretty historic.
I'm happy for you. Keep your eyes on the road there, Pokey. Don't worry about your whatchamathingy, Orson. I'll go easy on her.
Good luck, Pac-Man! And try to bring Toc-Man back in one piece. 2 at most.
Okay, so here we are on the forms of the 10th level in the game, and as I said this before, this level is going to be super duper short. Why? Because all you really have to do is the fact that we need to take down those enemies, and that's pretty much about it. Even though the catch is though, is the fact that I'm pretty darn certain that you're gonna have to able to protect the outpost. So, because if the actual outpost is actually being destroyed, then basically it's the fact that we have to start all over the level. So, I'm guessing as far as I'm concerned. But basically, much like the second level in the game, you're once again gonna have to take control of Toc-Man, even though despite the fact that it looks nothing like the forms of the original game to me though. Because the original game looks a bit more intimidating and all that stuff, in addition to with the creepy voice. But unfortunately that's not the case, sadly. But anyway, so yeah, you have to simply just beat some more enemies, and that's what you have to do here. So, but this time around on the other hand though, we actually got the new ability, which basically this allows you to able to destroy enemies a bit easier and quicker at the same time. And plus, because of how the fact that Blinky is now able to join with you during the actual Toc-Man battle. Yeah, that's what the level's name, by the way. It's called Toc-Man Battle, and that's pretty much as far as you can able to get for the sake of the majority of this level. So, yeah, you just have to make sure you have to beat more robots, and I don't think there's any collectibles around here, well, aside from these little capsule things, which I'm pretty sure it's like health or something like that for the actual Toc-Man robot, which I'm so clueless about the forms of what the actual thing itself represents. So anyway, let's just go ahead and deal with more enemies here and there, and hopefully if we're able to destroy even more enemies during the sake of the forms of trying to able to get sense of progressioning or just completing certain things. And grab another one of those collectibles there. and do a little bit of a shockwave attack during it at those robots, and yeah, and you can able to actually walk around just like in forms at the end of the second world. So yeah, this is kind of feels a bit, I don't know what I usually say this, it's kind of awkward honestly, for the sake of the forms of how this level we actually represents. So anyway, so apparently we somehow managed to complete this, because after all we've saved the outpost. So, and once that's been done, then that's it. That's literally how the level plays. So, easily, as I said before, the shortest world in the game. So, don't know why they can't be bothered able to actually make the actual stage a bit more lengthy. But, it wasn't until whenever we get into the next world, which I'll save that up until on Friday, which is tomorrow, and that will end up going on to probably is the longest world in the game, which, I don't know, I might actually feel a bit slightly skeptical with this particular stuff though, but we'll see what happens there after this loading screen is finished. And I'm pretty darn sure that we ended up going back onto the sort of a similar location as in the 6th world in the game, so although I may be wrong.
Close, but no cigar, Orson. At least I can actually see the siphon. And I guess this is preferable to being teleported inside solid rock or something.
Exactly. It simply wasn't safe to port you right next to it, Pac-Man. The auxiliary gyrotoid is acting up. And as for the third ulterior exoprobe, I think it's on its last legs.
I'm here to destroy a siphon, yes? And then what?
That I can help with. Further energy sources within Irwin's fortress. It's near here, and you have to, get inside. Sorry.
I'd better get on with it then.
So yeah, I'm afraid we have to end things off here. So join me next time on Let's Play Pac-Man World 3. Is the fact that we're going to be hit on to, as I said before, the longest world in the game. So I'll see you guys tomorrow. Later, fellas.